Shabbos Daf Kuf Gimel. Today's email comes from Yisrael Goldstein from Borough Park, and he writes, L'chvoid, Moir Rabbi Harav Reb Eli Shlita. By the way, it's Eli. That's enough. I've been with you live on Zoom since Chav Gimel Adar. The stream are really enjoyable, very exciting. I used to stay up until midnight to watch you on Zoom. Now I watch you during the day. Every day when you read out the emails, it gives me chizik to see that there's so many people that are joining Torah, the Torah world. But from time to time, even you mentioned that these emails could sometimes get to your head, and you said it yourself that it builds up some gaiva. Until last night, when you invested more than a minute of Merkaz Daf Yomi Torah time to praise the greatness of another Magid from across the pond. He's referring to at a great conversation, 40-minute conversation with Reb Sruli Bornstein, a tremendous Talmid Chacham, unbelievable talent, and tremendous Kiddush Shem and a role model. He's a balabas who spends most of his day learning Torah and being marbitz Torah and giving shiurim. And if you want some extra geshmaka stuff on the daf, he has something called Raid Bites. Go check him out. It shows a tremendous amount of humility to endorse and advertise another so-called competitor. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I'm honored to call myself a talmid of yours and consider myself lucky to be part of the Ramat Bet Shemesh Merkaz Daf Yomi Yisrael Goldstein from Borough Park. Here is Rabbi Yisrael Goldstein. So let's jump into this. Shmuel and Rabbi Yochanan both hold that when it comes to chiseling out a stone, that's makeh b'patish, not boina. So we have to readjust the Mishnah slightly, because the Mishnah says hamasatis, which is chiseling, ve'hamakeh. So you have to take out the vav. It's hamasatis, makeh b'patish because of makeh b'patish. What about drilling a hole? Even a mashu. Now, according to Rav, who says it's boina, it's understood it's similar to drilling a hole to let out air in a chicken coop. But what about Shmuel? How is that a makeh b'patish? Makeh b'patish is always the final blow, the finishing touch. Over here, you still have to put a screw in, you have to put something in. It says Gemara Nechanami. We're talking about he put in a long nail to hang up something. When the Mishnah says Zeh klal, it's coming to include something in Baina. What is it? It's when a person carves out 3/4 of a kav, he plans on continuing on to do a full kav. But since there are many people that stop right there at 3/4, that is considered Baina. What's this thing about taking a hammer and banging it on an anvil? Why is that makeh b'patish? Says Gemara, because when you smooth out gold, the way they do it is they bang 3 times in the gold and 1 time on the anvil to smooth out the hammer. That's what they did in the Mikdash. That's why you are chayiv. Now we're going on to the malacha of chayrish. How much do you have to plow? A small amount in order to put in 1 seed of a pumpkin. That's what they did in Mishkan. They would plant 1 herb in order to make dye for the clothing, for the Mishkan. Endives are edible for humans, and then if you take it for that, you would be chayiv bigger geras. If you're taking it for your animal, it's the size of a goat's mouth. And if you want it for heating up your house for fuel, then it's enough to heat up an easy egg, a chicken egg. Anytime you want to enhance your land by taking things out of the ground so you can plant, that is asur b'kolshu. Now, that should be anytime you pull something out of the ground, but that's not so. We said sometimes endives you need a shear of a gergeris. The answer is because yes, it's a psik reisha. It's going to happen. You're going to make your land better, but it's a psik reisha delay nichale. This is a major sugya. The point is that Reb Shimon holds that if you don't want it, lo yichbas lo, and you don't care about it, you dafke don't want it, then you are potter. According to the Aruch, you're in fact even mutter to it lechatchila. If you gather wood from a tree, depends on your intent. If you're trying to make the tree grow, you want to make it stronger, that's toilish, the zereya, you are chayiv b'kolshu. If you want it for fuel, firewood, then it's an easy egg, a chicken egg. If you are gathering grass, again, your intent. If you want to make the land better, then it's a kolshu. If you want it to feed your animal, then it's the size of a goat's mouth. Moving on to writing. Writing, you need to write 2 letters. So ambidextrous person who could write with his right hand, maybe his left hand is a little weaker, also chayiv. Rabbi Yossi says even a righty is chayiv writing with your left hand, because you're not writing, you are marking. That's the chiv, is marking. Anybody can mark up something with a left hand. According to everybody, you're chayiv in any language. Writing 2 letters in English, you are chayiv. 2 types of ink, 1 letter with 1 ink and the other letter with the other ink, chayiv. Now we have a bunch of shitas. Rabbi Yehuda says in the Mishnah, you are chayiv when you had intent to write the full name Shimon and you stopped after mem. You did shin mem. That's also a word, also chayiv. Or you did Daled Nun from Daniel, chayiv. According to Rabbi Yehuda, in the name of his Rebbe Gamliel, it's even if it's 2 identical letters, like Gimel Gimel Shin Shin, which spell Gag, a roof, or Sheish, 6, you are chayiv. Rabbi Yossi says, even if there are 2 letters that have nothing to do with each other, they don't spell a word, you're still chayiv, because we're not talking about writing, we're talking about marking. And Reb Shimon says, you need to finish the entire word. You don't need to do the whole pasuk, you need a whole word. Rabbi Yossi learns, it says in the pasuk by Shoigeg, it says, Va'asa me'achas mehena. 2 extra mems. And he learns 4 limudim from here, because he says, achas mehena and hena me'achas. First limud is, what we just mentioned, that if a person intended to write a whole word Shimon, and he wrote some of it, me'achas, from it, shimem chayiv. Mehena, he learns, hena refers to all the avis malachas, 39 malachas. Mehena means, from them, the toldos as well, you're chayiv midoraisa. And then he says, sometimes you're chayiv 1 korban for many malachas, and sometimes you're chayiv many korbanis for many malachas. And that is, if a person doesn't know it's Shabbos, and he does many malachas, so he only is over on one thing, he only made one mistake, no Shabbos, he brings 1 korban. If a person knew it was Shabbos, he just didn't know that each malacha is asur, he's chayiv on each and every malacha. The issue that we have when a person writes shin mem out of Shimon, that he's chayiv. Why? He wrote shin and a mem, but the mem is not a mem sofit, it's not a closed mem. The answer is, an open mem is just as good as a closed mem when it comes to the Torah. If that's how you write a Torah, you made a mistake, it's good. In fact, we know the famous psukim that you learn on Sukkos. Every day, they're almost the same. There are 3 exceptions. On Monday, on the second day, we say v'niskei hem with the extra mem instead of unisochel, v'niska. And on the 6th day, we say unisochel with extra yud instead of v'niska. So we have an extra mem and extra yud. And finally, on the 7th day, we say kimishpatam with a mem instead of kimishpat. So we have mem yud mem, which spells mayim, water. That's a hint to nisoch hamayim min haTorah. The issue is that the first mem comes from the word v'niskei hem. It's the last mem in the word. It's a closed mem. How do you spell a word mayim with a closed mem? You see, there's no difference between a closed mem and an open mem. Now, that argues with the brisa, a very lengthy brisa, but at the end of the brisa it says that you have to be makbid. It says uchsaf tam. It should be ksiv tama when you write tefillin and mezuzahs. You have to be complete, and you cannot confuse a mem, an open mem, with a closed mem. So that's mechulek on that. The other halachas in the brisa is that you should not mix up an aleph with an ayin, or any letter that looks similar to the other, like a yud with a vav with a nun with a zayin, a tes with a pei, or a chaf pei tzadik nun with their sofit letters. You shouldn't confuse a mem sofit with a samach. One is rounder, one is square. And if the parsha has to be an open parsha, don't close it. If it's supposed to be closed, don't open it. If you're doing a song like Az Yashir or Hazinu, it looks like bricks, don't do it straight, or vice versa. You cannot write a Sefer Torah without ink, and don't write even Hashem's name with gold, and if you do, you have to bury it all. Have a wonderful day.